Hey y'all, this is AL Pick Madame. Look, ignore me. I'm trying to do the most because my hair still look like a mess. I'm still. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's just a lot. My allergies are doing the most. It's just a lot. But anyway, I hope y'all had a wonderful day today. It's Friday, so happy Friday. Oh gosh, y'all. So, as you can see by the title, this is the recap for the newest episode of Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all, this one started off with, of course, Bow Wow. You know his situation, and if you don't, you must not pay attention to any of your forms of social media, little stuff that'll pop up on your phones and devices and even the TV screen. But he got arrested a while back now. And his ex-girlfriend got arrested as well because she called 911 on him to state that he was holding her hostage basically in a room, wouldn't let her go. He took her phone and wouldn't give it back. And she mentioned that the police had already been out there once. But at that time, he wouldn't let her out of the room. So I'm looking like, what? Wait a minute. So, I saw all of this as it was happening, as the evidence and all this stuff was actually released months ago. Like, I don't even know how long ago it was now, but yeah, yeah. So I was like, what? I was like, come on now. I know y'all ain't doing this for storyline. Like, y'all doing the most. So, a lot of y'all who saw the mug shots, she looks perfectly fine. Like, nothing's going on. Like, she's just there so she won't get fined. And he, meanwhile, big scratches all over his face. We eventually learned that he has marks all over his body. She bit him, like, on his side and all kinds of stuff. But within her 911 call, she was saying that, he hit her in places that no one would believe and all this other stuff. So I'm still curious to this day, unless I just, the story died down so much to the point where nobody cared. I really do want to know, if that actually happened on her end, because like I said, the mugshots that we saw, he looked like he got beat down, and he did. But in all honesty, the way it looks like self-defense. And then, not long after that, another video was released, which a lot of people, especially these people who have money, these rappers, these singers, these baseball players, these football players, they get into elevators and do their dirt in the elevators. And a lot of these elevators have cameras. And the camera footage from the elevator was when he was with her. And I don't know what in the world was going on. I don't know if this actually pertained to what he said within the show, which was they had gone out to a club or a party or whatever, and she went somewhere and like swigged something as if it was water, and they came back to him and just started setting it all the way off. And as we all know, or anybody who has eyes and, you know how a lot of people get down who are in the industry, they tend to cheat. They look like, hey, I'm me. I make all this money. I can do what I want to do. But in his case, he looking like, look, I might be short, but I'm light skinned and I got light eyes. And I'm Bow Wow. And I got all this money. Y'all gonna want me. So anybody bats an eyelash at him, seems like, if you're the type that he, lives for, that Kiyomi is one of the people who fits that description, then he will go for you. Excuse me. So, I'm just looking like, okay, this is too much. Because like I said, real time when all this stuff was released, I was just like, what is going on here? This is too much for me. So, like I said, later on, the elevator footage was released. I have no idea. I'm trying to remember if his case got dismissed or thrown out or what, but I don't remember. I don't remember hearing anything else after that. A lot of these people end up settling out of court or whatever and whatever. So anyway, like I said, that's how the episode began. Y'all, eventually they showed Tammy and Waka Flocka Flame on here, and they basically had a gathering so that people can see their wedding video, and they had like a little reception, so to speak, and had drinks flowing and food for people to go get. And everybody that was at the wedding, they were sitting up there crying as if they wasn't at the wedding. And it was, oh, it's just as beautiful. It's the first time it happened. And I was just like, all right. Tammy's mama do the most. She was sitting up there to myself, I would just like to thank everybody for coming out and sharing our moment. Waka was like, what are you talking about? And so she was like, I did tell you that when you married her, you married me too. But she continued as if nothing happened. I was just like, ma'am. Apparently Deb and her, were fast friends. They live for each other, whatever. Y'all, R. Kelly's ex-wife, Andrea Kelly, is on here. As I've mentioned before, I'm thinking I said something about it in either a thoughts video or a video when I was discussing those different, segments of the little R. Kelly thing that was coming on every night for like 3-4 days or whatever. The different parts of the docu-series. But anyway, they said that she was going to be on there. First there was speculation, and then they said, yeah, she's definitely going to be on there. And a lot of people were like, oh, she's only getting on here because he ain't paying the child support and she need a check. And I'm just like, look, I don't know why she's getting on here. Most people get on here because they want the money. So, I mean, whatever. Whether he's paying the child support or not, I mean, people are willing. There are people who still are willing to hear her, even though I have some things to say. And a few people might be disappointed in that, but that's okay. To make a long story short, after I saw her on the docuseries, even before that, I've been looking at her sideways. As I've told y'all before, I first saw her when she appeared on Hollywood Exes. Before that show came out, I had no idea R. Kelly ever had a wife outside of Aaliyah. So imagine my surprise when she is on the show, and I was just like, what is we talk? Did you just say R. Kelly, ma'am? What is going on here? Because I really was just like, when did this happen? Was this a, you drove through at the good old McDonald's drive-through type situation in Las Vegas, Nevada somewhere, and did this, and then y'all got it annulled in like a day? Like, what happened? That's what I'm thinking must have happened, because I'm like, oh, you getting on here doing the most. This woman was really married to him. She really had 3 whole children by him. And I was just like, what is going on here? I don't understand. And at the time, her kids were really, really young when the show came on. All of them, or most of them, are like of age now. So I think the youngest might be late teens. But yeah, y'all let me know if I got that right or wrong in the comment section. Let me know, what the ages are. But I know one of them is a singer, and she wants nothing to do with him at all. She went overseas. I think she either renounced her citizenship and goes by a completely different name, and she wants nothing to do with her father, or she just live over there. But anyway, she go by a whole nother name, and she does music that's totally different, completely different from what he does. One of the other kids does like producing, and I don't know what the other one does. But yeah, those are the main 2 that do things that people have, recently given us insight on. But anyway, y'all, she's on there, and she's trying to make it seem like she and Deb have been friends for forever. And in her little confessional, she was like, if I didn't have Deb as a friend, I don't think I would have no female friends. And I'm just like, what does it matter if you have a woman as your friend, or a man as your friend, or friends at all? Like, some people just don't need friends because some way they sabotage it because they are a terrible friend, or they just are beyond awkward and just don't know what to do in order to allow a friendship to continue to suffice. Y'all, I just can't do it. So I was just like, But yeah, y'all, I just find it funny that Andrea Kelly, given her situation, had the audacity to say, what's going on with Bow Wow? What's going on with Bow? Like, she was speaking as though they were like best of friends. I'm like, girl, you how old? Like, stop. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I don't know. It just irks my soul how a lot of these people will get on shows and act like they've been friends with these people their entire existence, and I'm like, I really don't believe it. So no. But yeah, so she was like, what's going on with Bow? What's all this stuff with Bow? And then like she did this whole speech, and I'm like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and preach all this to your ex-husband, because your ex-husband do the most day in and day out, and he been doing the most since before he even met you. And when you got with him, you ain't say none of this, and you didn't go tell nobody nothing, apparently. So we had to endure watching this. You know what I'm saying? We had to endure this for 30 years. Like, come on now. You need to stop. But yeah, I was just like, girl, you don't need to try to speak on nobody's situation, given what your situation is. Like, no. You know, y'all know she out here trying to get child support from him. Yeah. What I forgot to mention was that a lot of people who were and or are regulars on this show, they showed their reactions to the videos of basically Bow Wow's mugshot, and people were like, dang, that's messed up, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, ugh. Deb's niece, which is DJ Hurricane's daughter, she was like, well, I don't know who to believe, you know what I'm saying? I would hope that my friend, which is Bow Wow, I would hope that he, is innocent, but, I ain't on nobody's side. I was like, oh, okay. Because you know how some people, they want to be ride or die when your people are all the way wrong. And speaking of all the way wrong, Bow Wow's mama, Teresa. So eventually, when we get to her reaction in this show, she kind of seems like, wow, I don't understand what's going on here. This seems terrible. It just looks like, my son is completely innocent. She just did these things to him and that's it. Case closed. And so the both of them met up, and he was just like, it was terrible being in jail and all this other stuff. And I was just like, they had you by yourself somewhere. So it couldn't have been that terrible. You weren't in general population, sir. So why you acting like you was out here trying to fight for your life while you were in there for all of a day? Like, stop. Anyway, my thing is this. Why sit up here and act like, and for some reason that wasn't a wake-up call. The police were called again because the manager in the building that he lives in, people kept calling and saying they heard things. They kept hearing some screaming. She went up there and she confirmed that she kept hearing a woman screaming and him talking about he gonna beat somebody down and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't think all these people just lying on you, sir. I just don't. I mean, I feel like Kiyomi is a mess. I feel like she is over the top. But I don't think it's completely all fiction on her end, especially given what we saw in that elevator footage. So it seems like when she did the 911 call, everything syncs up. The only thing for me, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what happened? Did he magically like slide your phone back under the door in order for you to now get out and do, like, I don't understand how that went. So I don't know. Anyway, that's beside the point. I just don't like this situation. It's crazy to me because I grew up listening to his music. I don't listen to nothing that he come out with nowadays. I just don't care about adult Bow Wow. I just don't. I don't know. I don't feel as though there could be anything in his music that I would be attracted to, especially after I saw what he was trying to put out there when he was with Kiyomi. And every now and again, when I would see him in the studio on the show, I was just like, I just don't care. And he sounds like everybody else now. And I like the fact that his music was basically clean and all that. I mean, given the fact that he's a child, Jermaine Dupri did that as he should have. But I'm just saying the music was still good. There were grown people living for his music. And that lets you know it was good. It was amazing quality. I just don't deal with most people nowadays because it's trash. Y'all, so anyway, I can't do it. And his mother is in denial. And I'm just like, girl, I don't understand. Deb met up with her to talk to her to see how she was doing, trying to see, you know, where her head was at. And she basically was like, yeah, you know, I'm doing this as best as I can. And this looks really bad. And you see those scratches on him. And she basically is like 100% believing that her son did nothing wrong. And I'm just like, girl. And Deb brought up amazing points. Being that Deb, if I'm not mistaken, is a domestic abuse survivor, she noticed exactly what I noticed, even though I did not suffer domestic abuse. The way that everything is on his body, all the different marks, it seems as though they were defensive marks. The bites, I mean, she bit him on right here. She bit him like on the side. She scratched his face. Like, she did all kinds of stuff. And it seems like it was all in an effort for him to get off of her and get away from him, all this other stuff. And my thing is this, just because I am a woman, that does not mean I'm going to always be on a woman's side, because there are plenty of women who were loud and wrong, and I'm not going to be here for it. So no. But, yeah, y'all, his mama is one of those people where my child didn't do wrong. You can sit up there and have all of the evidence. She could have sat up there and saw the whole situation go down in her face, and it was recorded on live TV. She would tell you these things didn't happen. Her son was being set up. I'm sorry, that's the way she come off to me, and she is in beyond denial at this moment. And I'm just like, girl, you need to get somewhere, get some sense, because ain't nobody got time. Deb tried to tell her that, you know, she needs to look deeper into the situation and not just be focused on the fact that that's her son and that's my baby, so I'm just gonna go into attack mode when everybody else is doing what they're doing. No, you need to be telling your son, you need to stop doing this stupid stuff. And you know, he is grown. He needs to get out. Since he want to be grown, he don't never listen to nobody. Everybody and their mama, literally his mama too, told him that he needed to not deal with this girl anymore. What did he do? He continues to deal with her. He continues to deal with all these people when everybody else sees the toxic signs. So it's like, why are you continuing to go through this? Ain't that much love in the world. The sex ain't that great. I don't be understanding why people put themselves through this stupid stuff. I can't. I would not be able to do it because it's just stupid to me. So let me see. What else, y'all? Every now and again, they would keep throwing up stuff about R. Kelly, little clips and all that stuff. Andrea, a lot of people may not know, but when I used to watch Hollywood Exes, I don't know why it never came back on, because I liked that show. I actually liked it. Jose Canseco's ex-wife irked my soul, and he did at times too, but I liked the show. When she was on that show, Andrea Kelly, I learned how they became acquainted, and I was trying to understand where in the world did he find her, because every time I look up, he looks like he likes children, so she looks nothing like a child. So she was a dancer. She was his backup dancer and all this other stuff. She choreographed all kinds of stuff. She did all this stuff, and that's how they met. She's an amazing dancer. I would never take that away from her. She has her own dance company. I don't know if she has multiple anymore. I think she had a few. One was like in Chicago, and one was maybe in Atlanta. I don't remember. I know she's doing some now or whatever because of the show, because she finally moved back to Atlanta. But I know when the show Hollywood Exes was on, she for the sake of her kids, not having to uproot every, ever so often for whatever reason, she was like, okay, they're in school. I don't want to pull them out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth so that he can spend time with them. So that's why I was like, okay. Because when she was on that show, she was making it plain like he is spending time with our kids. On the weekends, I fly to go home and he can spend time with them, and I do my little classes and stuff and all this other stuff. So she's working and going back and forth. So, y'all, I can't do it. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ever since I saw her, I didn't tell y'all why. The reason why I don't really believe Andrea Kelly is because before all this stuff started really coming to a head as of recently with R. Kelly, she seemed like I was on her side way before all this came out, like when I saw her on Hollywood Exes. Then randomly she had a video where she was with her ex who was using her because he wanted to be a singer, and he knew that, with her, she works with celebrities still, even though she's not with him. So anyway, dude was using her, and they were riding along like in Atlanta traffic or somewhere, and I was like, wait a minute, is there R. Kelly in the background? She's listening to R. Kelly songs, like she was listening to like Step in the Name of Love and something else, I think. And I was just like, girl, what is going on here? Because when she was on Hollywood Exes, she said, no, I don't listen to any of my ex's music. Somebody, I think the ex-fiance or whatever he was, because they were getting married. I think they either got married briefly and got divorced, or they broke off the engagement. The dude who was leeching off her, and I was not here for him when I saw him on the show. I was like, oh, he using you, trying to get his music career off the ground. But anyway, I already knew that wasn't gonna work. And like I said, she was on social, like she was like on her live and doing the most on her live. And she was like, yeah, that's my baby daddy, y'all. That was like she really was speaking as though she was really here for him as a person, and, on great terms with him and supports him. And it's like, girl, all of what your ex-husband did. Like, no, girl. So anyway, that's why I've been looking at her sideways. So then she did that video, and then when they paid her, because a lot of y'all, I don't know if y'all know, but they got paid, a lot of them, well, she mainly got paid handsomely to appear and say what she said when she did the docuseries. They had to cut a check for her to come and speak. So anyway, speaking of Drea, they ended up doing this sex dance class of hers. Apparently, Tammy is trying to pursue a singing career again. I believe and I feel, as far as what I've heard, she has an amazing voice. She can sing exceptionally well, in my opinion. So she has some song out, and it's about sex, feeling sexy or whatever. I don't know. But you have to exude sexiness, and she is about to come out with a music video, and she's not confident. And I'm like, girl, like ever since I first saw her, I was like, okay, all right. There were moments when she got bigger than what she was, but she's small. Like this is one of the smaller, times in her life that I've seen her. But she has the nerve to like act as if she's not confident. I don't know if she's just putting on airs because of this show or what, but she's making it seem as though she's not confident in herself. And she lives for Andrea Kelly. Anybody who ain't never seen Andrea Kelly while she's dancing, I don't know what y'all not looking at or haven't seen. I don't know if her breasts are done, but I think her butt is real, and everybody lives for her, because she does a whole lot several times a day. And you would think that you would not have booty and your booty would not jiggle like that, but her booty is I've always liked her body. Her body looks really nice, especially for her frame, and she works hard for her body. So yeah, but yeah, she was teaching this class, and for some reason Tammy doesn't feel how she should feel. Y'all, I'm tired of the brat being in her feelings. She mad at Bow Wow. She upset with him. I told him he should have left her alone a long time ago. And then she want to meet up with, I was about to say JR. Want to meet up with Jermaine Dupri to see what they gonna do. And he looking at her like, I ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna go talk to him. So she had to go by herself to talk to him. Of course, he don't want to hear nothing she talking about. And he, like, this is how I know he will never learn. He the type of person that you got to lock him up, like, for real. Or he has to get hurt for real for him to learn. He was sitting up there, and he didn't like nothing what she was saying. And then he got to the point where he was like, look, I thought this conversation was going to be when you said this, and this, but you saying this. So he got mad and got up and walked out. It's like, what? And then he already knew he was wrong when he walked in the door because he greeted her, was like, hey, and I mean, was saying hey to her like he just saw her yesterday and been seeing her, and he hadn't seen her in I don't know how long. Then he ended up putting his child on the phone, FaceTiming, trying to, butter her up. And I'm just like, you doing the most. I'm just sick of him. I feel like everybody just need to be like, look, y'all done called up this man for 30 some years. Well, I mean, okay, well, let me, about 30 some years, almost 30 some years. Because he around my age. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty young when he got on how he got on. So, I'm just saying. Y'all want to call up this man for almost 30 some years. It's too much. His mama did do the most. The only thing I can commend his mama on is the fact that when his career was going, she was his manager. And she did not play games when it came to him. And I understand that because outside the fact of him being her being his manager, that's his mama. But she made sure everything was in place when it came to the business side of it. And nobody was ever able to screw him over, even when Jermaine Dupri was said to be like a father to him and all this other stuff. Because his daddy, if you ain't seen this show, he looked just like his daddy. And I can't. And it's scary because when I saw him, I was like, I see you looking like that in about 10 to 12 years. Exactly like your daddy. Because you already going there. He do the most, y'all. I can't do it. But yeah, his mama is in denial, like I told y'all before, and don't nobody have time. Everybody that got sick. I just feel like everybody need to wash their hands of him because you have literally talked yourself to death. For no reason, it is falling on deaf ears. What is the point if you're going to continue to waste your breath? Every time y'all tell him, hey, you shouldn't do this, this is the pattern with you, it's been getting worse. His excuse is, no, things have changed. I've changed. I've gone to therapy. He went to therapy like one good day, maybe two. And I'm like, that's not enough to say nothing. Now, if you had to say at least 6 months, then I would have been like, okay. But they went like once or twice, and that was explosive when they did like couples counseling or whatever it was when he did that with his ex. Y'all lies. It ain't gonna work. I just can't. And he just sat up here and met up with his lawyer, and his lawyer gave him the rundown on what's gonna happen the following day. That was his day in court, and they are gonna present all the evidence they have. And, he basically wanted to make sure beforehand that he had been abide by everything that he told him, which was basically no contact and all this other stuff, because if you do anything outside of what you're supposed to do, it can be used against you, which he should have enough common sense to understand that, y'all. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch the next episode, but y'all, I got so sick of him. It makes me sad because there are people who I lived for growing up, and now it's like they became adults or they became older and they're trash. And it's like, really? This is what you decided to do? Like, you have money, you have everything you could possibly want, but you're trash for no reason. Like, there's no reason for you to be trash like this. Like, why? But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And if you haven't seen this show, do you plan on watching it? Anyway, I do have a few more reviews to do. I don't know if I'm going to do them today, but I'm off this weekend and I'm going through. So I'm going to try to dope up and get myself back together. I had no sleep last night. So yeah, I'm running on fumes. Anyway, I hope that y'all have a nice day, and I'll see y'all next time.